It's Maryland and Syracuse live on Big Ten Plus. I'm Tyler Lochte, and alongside me is Ben Strober. And Ben, the big story today is Maryland goalie Logan McNaney, who went down late in the fourth with an injury against the Greyhounds. Coach John Tillman did not confirm the status of McNaney yesterday in the press conference, but McNaney is in sweats and crutches on the sideline today. A big loss for the Maryland Terrapins.
Definitely a disheartening sight to see McNaney on the crutches, speaking of his coach right there, but the numbers speak for itself with this guy. 2022 NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player. Just a phenomenal career so far at Maryland. He basically willed them to that national championship. He's a guy that's a leader of that defense. He has the defense playing exactly how they want to play. This loss hurts a lot. They're going to have to step up without him.
Teddy Dolan is going to fill in here today.
Dolan is a guy, he's faced Syracuse before. He played 3 years at Binghamton, really good over there. He's seen a lot of shots, so you have to believe that Maryland has the utmost confidence in him to step up today.
For Syracuse, it's all about the #1 recruit, Joey Spallina, off to a hot start.
When you think about Syracuse, they bring in some of the best freshmen in the entire country. That's the noise about them, is how good that recruiting class is. But this guy stands out so much. His last 2 games, 10 goals on 14 shots. I mean, that's pretty much unfathomable, and he's really got Syracuse off to this hot start.
From a current freshman phenom to a former one, Owen Hiltz back from injury.
I mean, this is a guy who's really hungry after a really successful freshman year. Missing an entire sophomore season, that hurts as a player, so that gives you that will to come back even stronger. Now Syracuse making a little bit of noise here in the rankings, and he's playing a big role in that.
And we are just about set to go. Gary Gait, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, coaching for Syracuse.
Guy that has a lot of pride in this Syracuse team, and so many great years here, but some great years at the University of Maryland as well as an assistant for women's lacrosse. He won 7 national championships with them from '94 to '02.
And for Maryland, it's Coach John Tillman. Finally got over that hump in Memorial Day weekend. He's got 2 titles to his name.
2 titles to his name, and that's, I mean, basically all you can ask for out of a coach. 2 titles is so hard to get, but a lot of noise around him has been that he couldn't win that big game, but now that they've got it, it's about protecting that title and seeing how you can bounce back from that loss that they had last week against Loyola. He's the kind of guy that you can be confident in to have this team ready to play today. 2
of the greatest lacrosse programs in the history of Division I lacrosse, Maryland and Syracuse, but they have not met many times. This is just the 19th meeting.
Yeah, well, obviously Syracuse and Maryland just being in the ACC together for 1 year. So, you know, both these teams moving out of their respective conferences. So a little bit interesting here that this could have been a rivalry, but it never really happened. But it's nice to see 2 really good teams going at it today here.
It's another chilly day here in College Park. 37 degrees is the wind chill as we are just about set to get started. 2 ranked teams, 2 big names. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of storylines to talk about throughout this game as Syracuse comes in after a tough season last year, 4-10. Now they're 3-0 though, and they are rolling.
Yeah, they came into the 2022 season number 13 in the nation, but they fell after having a little bit more of a subpar year. But now that they're up to 16th in the coaches poll and 18th in the Inside Lacrosse Media poll, they're making a little bit of noise in this recruiting class that they brought in has really bolstered them, and they've kind of exceeded those expectations early.
It's Weirman for Maryland, Rachusa for the Orange. As we are just about set to go here from SECU Stadium. And we are underway. And Maryland is going to get the first opportunity of this game. Weirman did his job against Loyola. He can't put that loss on him as the Terrapins look to try and break that losing skid. They are not familiar with regular season losses. Been their first in 25 games. That loss up at Loyola, their in-state rival, as the Terrapins take it into the offensive zone for the first time. Kyle Long with it in his stick. He's going to give it off to Brennan, coming in off the bench. This is Kelly. He'll try one and score. What a start for Maryland. It's Daniel Kelly, who had 4 against Loyola, that gets Maryland on the board.
You know what they say, feed the hot hand. Daniel Kelly, really good game against Richmond in that first game, then 4 goals last week. And that was a game where the offense very stagnant for this Maryland team. So this is a great sign to see him get him going. You see them coming around from X. Kelly waiting at that left point position. That's a phenomenal shot, low and away. tough for the keeper to really even see it in this position. That's a great start for the Terps.
Well, we talk all about the freshman for the Orange, specifically Spallina, but how about the freshman for Maryland, Braden Urksa, with the assist there? 1-0 Maryland, and Weirman's going to get back to work here against Rhoa. And a whistle there, it's going to go Weirman's way. Again, so many people tuning in today to see how Maryland can bounce back from that tough loss. And I think it's key for them, Ben, if they can just get an early lead, as Dante Trader has it in his stick. Former McDonough Eagle, a top lacrosse recruit, came here, had a really, really good start to his football career for the Terrapins here under Coach Mike Locksley. As that's Koras coming through. He's going to go behind the goal. Koras is going to come back to the front, give that off to Brennan. As Kyle Long, who has really just fantastic vision in the offensive zone, gives it off to Koras, back to Brennan on that near side. Brennan trying to work his way in. He'll give it off to Kelly. He's already got one. That one off the post. But it comes back to Brennan. Maryland is going to keep the possession here. Shot clock at about 55. Here's Kelly. He'll try another one. That one just high, but Urksa is going to keep the possession. Here's a look at that shot off the crossbar. So close from Kelly as Urksa comes around. He's going to turn, shoot. That one saved into the air and into the goal by Koras.
Just I was getting ready to say, I like that they were feeding the hot hand in Kelly, but a really good coming around from X for Maryland. And you get those second chance opportunities when you keep blistering shots at the opposing keeper. You see it right here. Koras doing such a good job on this play. See him waiting on that front doorstep. He didn't get the initial pass, but waiting patiently for that rebound coming off the pipe there and just finishing it home. This is a really important hot start that Maryland's got off to.
Daniel Kelly just confidence in his shot so far, Ben. Koras, great awareness, though, to catch that. Just put it right into that open net. Looked like Will Mark lost the ball there. Maryland up 2-0. A lot of talk about this Maryland team after that loss up at Loyola. I don't think really many people saw that coming. But Maryland, they have looked so far so good here 2 minutes in as that goes out of play. And it looks like Maryland's going to take this again. That's Brett Makar. Obviously, we're going to touch on this later, but wearing the number 1, the first defender to do so since the tradition began. And he really is a rock in this fantastic Maryland defense.
You know, we know exactly what kind of player he is. He's a gritty guy. He's hardworking, and he's going to make those 50-50 plays. He goes all out. He dives on the sideline to chase shots that go off the pipe. He's the exact kind of guy that you want leading this team. And now that the offense hasn't been as good as advertised in previous years, he's a perfect example of a leader that they'll need to step up.
Dante Trader's going to use his speed, take that into the offensive zone. Now he's going to cut to the middle. Could not get a look there at the goal. Going to give it off to Urksa. Now Trader's going to run back as Owen Murphy will come in. Owen Murphy started off the year strong against Richmond, but Loyola did a great job to keep him quiet. As it gets over to Spanos. He's going to give this off. That's Maltz, a rip and a goal. 3-0 Terps.
Maryland executing that pick and pop kind of to perfection right there. You see Maltz. He comes over to set the screen. We'll take another look at it in a second. But once he pops off that screen, he knows he's going to be open. The ball carrier knows exactly where Maltz is going to be. Spanos just finding Maltz right there, coming off that screen, and a lot of separation right here. This is a shot that a guy in that Maryland lacrosse offense is not going to miss too often. He puts it in a tough place for Mark to save. That's well done. 3-0. Really important that Maryland's got off to this hot start.
Less than 3 minutes in as Daniel Maltz picks up his 4th goal of the year. Wrestling for possession here at the face-off X. And Syracuse is finally going to get a chance to show off this offense. 42 goals for the Orange through their first 3 games. As Jackson Birtwistle is going to take it into the offensive zone. And again, the guy to watch out for the Orange, number 22, the freshman, Joey Spallina. He still has not had the ball in his stick yet today. As this is Michael Leo, another freshman. 9 of the 23 players for the Orange that have played in all 3 games are in their first year. As that one goes over the head of Spallina, a turnover is how Syracuse is going to end their first possession. Teddy Dolan, Maryland's goalie, former Bearcat, is going to give this back off to Makar. Maryland's going to have to get this over. It's a risky pass there from Dolan, but it's brought out of the air by Donovan Lacey. And here comes the Terrapins again with Gibbons. Signorello comes in. He's going to try a long shot, but it goes over. Signorello, the freshman, could not keep that shot down. And it's going to stay with Maryland.
Looks like he hesitated just a little bit on that shot. He kind of came down. He was like, well, I have a look here. And he eventually did decide to rip it, but I think he could have got a little bit more in stride and gone for maybe a more bounce shot right there.
The Virginian native coming in and trying to make an immediate impact here for the Terrapins. So it's in the stick of Jack Koras for Maryland on that far side of the field up there in the top left corner. He's going to give it off to Kelly.
There's going to be a lot of emphasis on Koras this year in that Maryland midfield. A lot of noise coming from the midfield last year. Obviously having guys like DeMeo and then now Maliver being out. There's a lot of implications on what this Maryland midfield can do and can they really keep up? Can these second line minis transition into these ones and be the star players that Maryland needs? So there's going to be a lot of pressure on guys like Brennan, Koras.
Not sure what the holdup is here, but we're going to get started. 3-0 lead for Maryland. Boy, would they love to add to it. It's the top 20 team in the Orange. As Long gives that off to Kelly. Here's Maltz. He's going to try another one from that same side, but it's wrapped up there by Will Mark, his second save of the day. Now, can Syracuse beat this Maryland ride? That one's tipped up in the air and into the stick of Murphy for a second, still loose. Zappatello picks it up. No, and the follow-up somehow missed. Koras got a fantastic opportunity to put that into the open net. Would have been his second goal of that kind today, but he could not. And we are going to step away here. But take a look. It's loose on the ground. Zappatello picks it up and shoots it. Koras tries again, and he could not get it to go. Maryland is up 3-0. A strong start for the Terps. You are watching Maryland Lacrosse here on Big Ten Plus. Two of the best programs in the history of Division I lacrosse, as you can see here.
Very, very historic program. Syracuse, a little bit older than this Maryland program, and lacrosse is kind of a growing game, so it's really interesting to see how old some of these teams are, but the numbers, pretty similar. Obviously, Syracuse with 6 more titles than Maryland, but Maryland been the dominant program in recent years.
Maryland has been the top dogs the last few years. They are the defending national champion. As Brennan comes around the back. Maryland out shooting Syracuse 9-0. That orange offense just has not had a chance to try to find an answer. This is Maltz. He's going to try another one off the bar again. It's going to go out of play. Urksa got over there. It's going to stay with the Terps. Take another look.
Just another one of those really nice shots from Maryland. Just striking the pipe. They've had a couple of those so far in this quarter.
Urksa's going to try to come around. Good defense there by the Orange to cut off that look as Koras comes from the back. He's going to pass that across. This is Maltz. Back to Urksa, the freshman coming to the front. Terps have 40 seconds on the shot clock to work with. This is Brennan coming through. He's going to turn around. He's got Maltz open on the near side. He loves that shot. Instead, he's going to throw it into the middle. Ground ball is going to be picked up by Will Mark. And here comes the Orange the other way. Into the stick of Alexo. That one's loose. And it's picked up by Zappatello. And Ajax Zappatello, he's already got a shot today. This time he's just going to try to get that across that line. This is Makar coming up. And a flag is down. A second flag thrown on the near side. So this is Murphy with it, with the 2 flags down, and he's just going to hang on to this ball as he gives it off to Signorello. Signorello's going to cut to the middle. Maryland did no rush here with the penalty. Back to Urksa, to Signorello, near side, that's Spanos. 25 on the shot clock here for Maryland. Signorello back to Maltz. Terps are going to have to start to get towards the goal as Maltz tries a bouncer, saved by Mark, and now the whistle comes for the penalty. So the Terps, they're going to have an opportunity here for the man up. So you can see a slash there on Zappatello as he tried to run by. That's Griffin Cook, the senior, who's going to be taking a trip to the sin bin.
Very favorable situation now if you're Maryland. You're 7 minutes here into this game. You already got that 3-goal lead, and Maryland thrives on the EMO. They have so many guys that shoot so well from the outside, so this is kind of a situation that really sits well for them in Syracuse. This is a big penalty kill for them. They're going to have to find a way to shut this down.
So 30 seconds on the board here for Maryland. Man up. Let's see if they can take advantage. This is Maltz giving it off to Murphy. Here's Spanos. He'll try one just over. It's going to stay with Maryland. Again, the Terps, they've not been afraid to take some shots here. 12 already. As Long comes around, and that one's denied by Mark. Syracuse finally gets past that Maryland ride. And they have killed off that penalty.
That was big. That was really big for the Orange. They've struggled so far in this first quarter. They haven't had too many offensive possessions, not even a shot registered yet. But wouldn't it be a good time to get one in here now?
So the penalty was actually registered against Nick Kakemo for offsides. I assume that would be that second flag that was thrown. As Cole Kirst is going to give that off. With it in his stick, Joey Spallina. To Griffin Cook. Cook trying to work inside. He'll give it off to Spallina. Spallina trying to work on Makar. Gives it off. That one up in the air. Dolan with a great save, still loose. And Brett Makar is going to get through and pick up that ground ball.
It's a good feeling for Dolan to get your first save. All the pressure on you today to get that first save of the day. That's a great sign.
And Dolan saves Syracuse's first shot of this game. Took them a little bit over 8 minutes to try one on Dolan. As Dante Trader's going to take that across. He'll pass it off to Geppert. This is Maltz. 3-0 lead here for Maryland. And they have just had all of the ball so far. Into the game, Owen Murphy. Murphy's going to try to get to the middle. He'll try a tough shot. It's down, picked up by Kelly. It's going to stay with Maryland here again. Shot clock back up to 60. Murphy going around the backside. That one loose in front. He was looking for Urksa. Still loose as Mark is going to cover it up.
Well, that was a really good look by Murphy trying to find Urksa there and just unable to corral that in there.
It's a great look, but the freshman could not handle it. Will Mark, by the way, already has 6 saves in this game.
He's definitely holding his own. Maryland's just peppered him with shots, so a lot of credit to him to keep Syracuse in it so far, just 3-0.
Syracuse again, just one shot. It was on goal. Dolan made a nice stop. As Michael Leo has it in his stick. Leo looking for Hiltz. That's a great defensive play by Zappatello, who picks up the ground ball. That pass high for Lacey. But Lacey tried to get it back. He could not. Miscue on the pass is going to give Syracuse another chance. This is Finn Thompson. This is Spallina behind the goal. He's going to give it off. Leo, a shot in the goal. Spallina with the assist. It's 3-1.
Now that's a ridiculous swing right there, Tyler, because Zappatello deflecting the pass away initially was incredible. Then the yard sale comes after that. And then they try to run that break. And just the pass a little bit high, a little bit errant. And Syracuse takes that turnover. They come the other way, and they get the goal. We'll get another look at it right here. Just a free-flowing cutter right there on that left side. But that's huge if you're Syracuse. I mean, that was a potential chance for Maryland to go up by 4 goals here with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Instead, Syracuse comes the other way with a goal of their own. They turned a bad play for them into a really good one.
That combo of Leo and Spallina could be really dangerous for some time to come. Both of them are top 10 attack recruits. And both from the state of New York. And they represent here playing for Syracuse. It's Spallina's 3rd assist of the year, Leo's 4th goal. And now Syracuse has it back again.
Oh, you have to imagine, Ole, how good this Syracuse team will be down the line a couple years from now.
Well, again, 9 of the 23 players of the Orange that have played in all 3 games so far are freshmen. The future's very bright for Gary Gates' side as Spallina comes around behind the back, denied by Dolan. Spallina just plays with so much confidence for a freshman. Almost caught Dolan there, but the former Bearcat makes a great save.
Well, I don't even know if he saw that shot, to be honest. He kind of got lucky that it ended up hitting him, but you're going to take the saves however they come.
Trader tries one from distance, denied by Mark. And Mark's going to launch a pass downfield. And here comes the Syracuse offense again. Spallina pass inside, and it's loose. Dolan is caught outside. Goes back to Spallina. And now Syracuse is going to slow things down. They tried to get something there in the transition. Maryland's defense did a great job to close out there at the end. Finn Thompson coming into the game for the Orange. Right now it's in the stick of Birtwistle. He's coming through. His shot is wide. Spallina's going to keep the possession for the Orange.
Syracuse starting to find their groove on offense a little bit. It took them a while to get going, but this is a very good offensive team, and they're going to be tough to stop once they start getting downhill.
Back to Jackson Birtwistle. 13 goals in the last 4 games of the season last year. And he's going to try a shot there. That one denied from the stick of Kohler. And here comes Makar sliding that one forward for Kelly. It's in the stick of Dante Trader.
It's a pretty good indicator of why Makar wears number 1, making plays like that, going all out with his body just to shovel that one away and keep possession in the hands of Maryland.
Really impressive play there by the leader of this Maryland team. This is Spanos with it in his stick.
It's the matchup you want, shorty on shorty.
That's Geppert caught up. Spanos cutting inside. That shot just goes wide. Geppert finally gets back, and they will pull Murphy up for the offense. Signorello with it in his stick. This is just his second appearance of the year as he gives it off to Murphy. Spanos back to Signorello. Signorello's going to try to take that behind the goal. Now he's going to come to the front. Great defense there by Rice to deny him. Spanos, long shot, no. Denied by Mark again. And that ground ball is going to be picked up there by the Orange. Carter Rice is going to try to take this across midfield. He's going to give it off to Jake Murphy. Murphy working on Spanos. He will pass it across, and the Orange are going to slow it down and bring in their guys.
And credit Rice on that defensive possession right there. Signorello took him behind the net. They had that short stick on short stick matchup. Exactly what they want. Rice did a fantastic job not letting him get top side, having that slide help come over, and then eventually the turnover gets forced.
Could be looking at maybe the last possession of this first quarter. As it's in the stick of Griffin Cook. Cook going to try to come to the front here. And a whistle goes. That's going to be Maryland ball.
A legal procedure call. I mean, on the screen right there, a lot of activity going on in that little area.
How about that play by Lacey to get through, get that ball across midfield. A lot of contact on him. Maryland's got to hurry up here, though. They got 5 seconds. Lacey going to try to pass that. It's just going to get away. And that is going to be how this first quarter is going to come to an end. So a strong start here for Maryland. They outshoot Syracuse 17-5, but 8 saves from Will Mark keeps it close. It's 3-1 as we head to the second quarter. You are watching Maryland at Syracuse here on Big Ten Plus. How about this stat? 8 saves in the first quarter, Ben.
I mean, 8 saves is considered a pretty good day overall by any means in the first quarter. And if things go considerably the rest of the way that they did in that first quarter, you could be looking at an incredible, potentially 20-save game.
Locked up here at the face-off to get this second quarter started. It's still loose. That's Weirman who gets through and picks up the ground ball. Maryland is going to get this first possession. Luke Weirman, one of the best in the nation at the face-off X. He's just going to hang on to it here. Weirman going to try to pass that across. This is Geppert who lost it. And that's going to be a turnover here. Syracuse is going to take it the other way. Here's Spallina near side. He tries one. Dolan denies him. And Dolan, he hasn't really had much opportunity to do much so far, but he's only let in one, and he's had some pretty nice saves. As Eric Kohler, the freshman, on the far side. That's a turnover. Here comes Syracuse again.
It's 2 straight turnovers to start this quarter. Not the best start that you'd hope for here for Maryland.
That's a great job by Rice, the SSDM there, to get that across.
And those are some of the most important players on the field right there. Always having to do your job on the defensive side. A tough task going against attackmen and midfielders, such a short stick. And then additionally, to have to clear the ball across, you got an important role.
This is Michael Leo. They're trying to come around there on Kohler. And again, that's the matchup you talked about there, shorty on shorty. Let's see if Syracuse could take advantage. This is Hiltz, a tough angle there, and it almost went in. It's going to stay with Syracuse there, Joey Spallina. Let's take another look at this. Hiltz, just a really, really tough angle. Almost got that down that bottom far post. This is Cook. Tough defense on him. That pass into the middle. It's going to get all the way through, though. Spallina will give that off to Hiltz. Now in the 6 of Alex Simmons. Simmons, that ball poked loose. A shot from Hiltz. That went in. Oh, wow. What a rip there from the redshirt sophomore.
And sometimes plays like that's all it takes to get you back into the game. Syracuse, they forced 2 turnovers to start this second quarter. And right here, just a little bit fortunate. Bounce comes here. Hiltz sees it the entire time. He picks it up, and that's a phenomenal rip right there. I mean, not much Dolan can do about that one to save it, and that's a really big goal. Syracuse getting back into it.
That's about as hard of a shot as I've seen all year by Owen Hiltz. Just phenomenal there. He's going to pick up his 6th goal of the season. And again, that ball just fell loose. Dolan didn't even have time to get his stick up. I wouldn't put that on him. But Syracuse, they cut this lead down to 1. And now they've got it on the faceoff. Can the Orange tie it up? Simmons going to pass that off. This is Griffin Cook off the bench. One of the few seniors in this rotation here for Gary Gait. A lot is asked of them with such a young team, Ben, to be leaders.
Yeah, you got to sometimes look up to some of those older guys like him as people who can lead some of these younger players. It's tough to get that experience so early in your career, but Gates had to go through that with this incredible freshman class already.
This is Rhoa. He's going to pass that off. Spallina. Cole Kirst, the grad student, working on Dante Trader. Trader kind of trying to keep him as far away as possible. Great work there from short stick D midi there. Rhoa's going to try a long shot. It's in. We're tied at 3. A 3-0 run for the Orange. And just another rip from this Syracuse offense.
Unreal. That's really just an unreal shot right here from the Orange. You saw Dante Trader doing such a good job on the initial possession. Right here, look, just a little bit of separation over that right shoulder of the short stick. And that's just such a tough shot. And that's hard to see. That's hard to stop if you're Dolan. In Syracuse, they're a really good team offensively, Tyler. And we've seen what they can do as they've gone on this run here in the second quarter. They're starting to get hot.
That's another freshman, Rhoa, out of St. John's College down in D.C., the former cadet. Went 19-0 as a senior, national champions. As Ursa is going to come around the back and Maryland find an answer. They started off hot, 3-0. But now Syracuse has just exploded for the last 3 goals. That's a great find, though, looking for Kelly. Good defense to knock it away. You got to give a lot of credit to Syracuse here. It looked like Maryland was just going to run away with this at first. They've settled into this game. Now they're looking really good. This is Murphy, tough angle. That one goes just wide. And Ursa is going to bring this back in for Maryland. Ursa coming all the way around. Could not get a look there for a shot. This is Kelly. Off to Kyle Long. Long back to Ursa. He's going to skip it over Signorello. Excuse me, that's Maltz. Back to Long. Can somebody get open? Shot clock is at 10. Ursa coming through, denied by Mark. But Ursa picks it up. That's another 60 on the shot clock for the Terps. Now Maryland can kind of take a breath here, set things back up. They've got a lot of time to work with. That pass trying to skip it over, but it's intercepted. A pass across. This is Simmons. Syracuse had another look there in transition. Didn't like it. They're going to hang on to it. Get their guys back on the field. This is Hiltz coming around, knocked loose. Makar coming through to pick up the ground ball. And Makar is going to give it up to Nick Red. A flag is thrown. Now 2 flags down on the field. As that pass is down on the ground, but it's picked back up by Long. So Maryland's going to have a man-up opportunity here, Ben.
Gives you a little bit of a chance to breathe. I mean, things have been going so fast here in this second quarter. Maryland can finally catch their breath a little bit. They can take their time on this offensive possession, unlike the last one.
Here's Syracuse back into the game. Giving that off to Kelly. That pass got away. Going to stay with Maryland, though. Nice play there by Burlace to keep the possession there. Waiting for it right at midfield. Signorello going to give it off to Maltz. Maltz coming around, trying to skip that across. It's loose in the middle. Syracuse is going to pick it up, and there's the whistle. So the Terps, they're going to have a man-up opportunity. Last time, Syracuse did a great job on the penalty kill, but seeming like a goal is definitely needed here for Maryland. They're in some trouble, as Syracuse has scored the game's last 3.
Last time around, the extra man opportunity, Maryland had just 30 seconds. Now you get a whole minute, a little bit more time to kind of get in that free flow offense that they'd like to get into. But most importantly, if you're Maryland here, you're going to want to keep it spinning until you get that open look. They've been struggling to get those at the even strength. We'll see what they can dial up here with the extra man.
It's the freshman Finn Thompson, who will sit here for the Orange. Murphy to Spanos. Near side, this is Kelly. Spanos back to Murphy. Passing it across. Kelly tries one, a bouncer. That's denied by Mark. And again, it stays with Maryland.
Mark has just been phenomenal. I mean, there's not much more to say about the way he's played in this first half.
Maryland's got 30 seconds more for man up. Spanos spins. Here's Kelly again. Tried one far side. It did not go. And now Maryland down to just 21 seconds. Kelly's been letting it fly all day. Connected on his first, but since then, nothing. Here's Spanos to Kelly again. This is Murphy. We know he's got a cannon. They're going to get it to him here. Murphy, a goal! And boy, did Maryland need that. Owen Murphy lets it fly from distance. A great find there by Kelly. And it's 4-3 Maryland.
And I stood corrected there. That extra 30 seconds is exactly what Maryland needed right there. Finally getting it to one of your best players this year. You're going to have to rely on Murphy to be a high-tier goal scorer this year. And that's a great shot right there. You finally find him on that opening there. Syracuse did such a good job running that 5-man rotation in that extra man opportunity. They were doing really well rotating and not letting Maryland really get much. They weren't finding any cutters or cross-court passes, skip passes, if you will, but Maryland finally getting it to go there. That was important.
Weirman wins the faceoff. He's going to take it right down Broadway. Pass off to Kelly. Gets it back over to Maltz, who dropped it. Now Maryland's going to have to slow it down. 5th goal of the year from Murphy. Number 55. And for Kelly, it's going to be assist number 2. 2-point day for the former Calvert Hall Cardinal. And into the game comes Spanos. Spanos going to try to cut back to the middle. Now he turns around. Good job by Syracuse to close that window. Erksa, that's a high pass, nice catch. It comes for Long, who tries one low, but it goes wide. Maryland has just shot since this game has begun. That's their 23rd of the game to Syracuse's 9. Just have not really been able to put a lot of them on target, though. And the ones that have been on target, Will Mark has 10 saves. That pass is high, but caught by Spanos. Coming inside, that's Murphy. Long comes to the front. He's going to try one and score. Kyle Long dancing around the defenders to make it 5-3.
Long's going to be one of those guys this year. Maryland doesn't have much of a speed threat from the midfield like Kyle Long, and he's going to be a guy that they're going to rely on this year to use his speed to his advantage. He had that short stick matchup that's so favorable for him. You see him right here, Long. He's got the short stick on him. He knows that he's got to just take him around and get to that top side. Defender unable to stay with him. He gets that right shoulder separation, and that's a pretty easy finish right there from about 5 yards out.
Springfield, Pennsylvania native, the senior Kyle Long gets his 3rd goal of the year. Now Maryland leads by 2. It's been a game of streaks so far, Ben. First 3 went to Maryland, then the next 3 to Syracuse. Now Maryland has collected the last 2 goals. So 5-3 lead here for Maryland. But the faceoff is won there by Rhoa. It's loose, picked up by Trader. Trader somehow gets through the contact. He's going to take it into the offensive zone. Trader a pass across to Maltz. Finds Urksa. And the Terps are going to slow it down. Maryland, they're known for their short stick D middies, Ben, and what an addition to this team Dante Trader Jr. has been.
Well, there's that physical paralysis really coming to his advantage on the football field. A very tough guy, defensive back, and you see him right there just absorbing all kinds of contact his way, keeping hold of the ball, and then racing down the field.
Here's Koras coming through. He'll try a shot low. It's in. A 3-0 run for Maryland, and the former Loyola Don, Jack Koras, gets his 2nd goal.
Koras finally, they catch Mark slipping a little bit right there. Mark had been so good in this first half, and this one a little bit surprising to me, at least from the view up here. Koras came around. It looks like Mark saw him the entire way, and he just gets beat in the 5-hole. We'll get another look at it right here. Koras coming around. He has separation. Mark sees him. He has a tough angle, and he's just unable to get his stick down in time. So Koras fortunate at that. Maryland going to take it. 3-0 run to start the game. 3-0 response by Cuse. And now Maryland 3-0 run of their own.
2 goals on 2 shots today for number 22, Jack Koras. Sends this Maryland bench into a frenzy. 6-3 is Maryland's lead. You're watching Maryland and Syracuse here on Big Ten Plus. He has 10 saves on the day for Will Mark. As we head to the face-off circle again. Syracuse trying to stop this run. They've done it before, Ben. They were down 3-0 early on. Came back to tie it before Maryland exploded here midway through the 2nd. Gets loose. That's Geppert there to pick it up. The ground ball gets back to Dolan. And this is Makar. Makar and Zapatello, 2 of the best in the country. Combining there to get that ball across for Maryland. And it's in the stick, of course. He's got 2 goals today on his 2 shots. Had 2 assists coming in. He picks up his first 2 goals of the year. This is Murphy. He's going to cut across. Now come back. His shot goes in. A bouncer gets by Mark, and Maryland's offense can do no wrong right now.
Maryland hadn't had too much success spinning the ball around in this 2nd quarter, trying to find the open guy. So they've resorted to getting that short stick matchup early. Owen Murphy recognized it. This is a really good move right here. You see him quick stop and turn. The short stick is too small to recover in time there. You can't get the stick into the shooting lane. So this is a really smart play. Murphy, once he gets that little bit of separation, pepper that one low and into the ground. That's a tough save to make for Will Mark. And the run continues.
Jake Murphy played 29 games for the LIU Sharks. Could not stop Owen Murphy there. Turned on a dime. Maryland is going to get another one here on the faceoff. 6th goal of the year for Murphy. His 2nd today. And Maryland's 4-goal lead right now, the largest of the game. And they'd love to add to this run, Ben, before they head to the locker room for halftime. As Koras comes into the game. Koras is going to give that off to Long. Back to Murphy. That's another nice move. Murphy tries it again. Looked like Mark just got a piece of it. That's all he needed to do.
Attack, attack, attack. That's all Maryland has been doing on this run. Murphy, once again, gets a short stick on him. Just a quick face dodge to the right side. That's a nice play. You keep possession.
Ursa's going to get it back across for Kelly, who could not find the goal. That's another great save by Mark, but it's still loose. Picked up by Landon Clary. Risky there. That's Long working there on the ride. But a nice job by Max Rosa to get around him.
Maryland ride, always really good. Coach Tillman takes a lot of pride in that. And you saw right there, they made life pretty miserable for Syracuse trying to get that one across. They're fortunate that they were able to do so.
So now Syracuse, seems like in this game, Ben, they have had long stretches where their offense doesn't have the ball. That's what Maryland wants to do. If you get this Syracuse offense hot, you are in a world of trouble.
That, and you keep their defense on their toes, and you get them gassed a little bit.
Spallina's going to give this off to Simmons. He's going to get across to Kirst on the far side. This is Griffin Cook. Cook coming around. His shot scores! Griffin Cook with a rip there. It's 7-4.
That's a big goal right there. Really, really big. You stop that 4-0 Maryland run, and to think it all started with Maryland nearly getting that failure to advance, but Cook coming around right there, and they've had a lot of success on this exact kind of play. They come from X. They have the long stick on, and that's a really tough shot. He just gets that little bit of separation right here. Cook with a phenomenal shot, and looks like Dolan a little bit surprised by that one. Not sure if he didn't expect it coming, but it kind of looks like it sailed a little bit right by him. It's probably one you'd like to have back, actually.
Syracuse staying in this game, but Wierman with another face-off win. Second goal of the year for number 2, Cook. Into the game, that's Signorello. He's played a lot today, the freshman. And again, so early in the season, Ben, you don't really know what your lines are just yet. Still working out some things.
Especially after last week with the offense playing the way it did. There's a lot of question marks.
Here's Syracuse. Coach Tillman, he knows he's got the talent. He's just got to try to find a way to combine it in the most efficient way.
Takes time.
This is Syracuse. Gonna get it back to Spanos. Signorello could not find an angle to shoot. He's got to pass that off. This is Spanos. Spanos gets it to Maltz. He's got space. He's got a shot that goes over. It's caught by Ursa. Now Ursa's going to come around. His pass to the middle. Spanos, shot saved by Mark. An incredible save by the Syracuse goalie, who has been great all day. And finally a whistle. And that's going to go Syracuse's way.
Spanos shot right here. Great save by Mark. And then that Maryland ride gets a little bit too aggressive right there, trying to get it back.
I'm still impressed that Ursa caught that shot just over the top of the goal.
It made me chuckle a little bit.
Here's a rip from distance. It's in. Jake Murphy, the 5th year with the goal, and it's 7-5.
The battle of the Murphys today. Owen Murphy on the Maryland side. Now Jake Murphy, a big goal for him, puts Syracuse back within 2. And look at the Syracuse offense, Tyler. We see the way when they force a turnover on the other end, this is when they've had the most success. Syracuse, a team that kind of rips through, and Murphy kind of just came in untouched. He looked a little bit surprised right here. You see him just in his cradle, winding up for the shot, and no one stopped the ball. That's the biggest thing. You got to stop the ball here. And instead, defender backs off, and he takes advantage of that.
The 5th year, Jake Murphy. He's played a lot of lacrosse, Ben. You cannot leave him open. Now it's a 2-goal game. First point of the year for Murphy. He got burned defensively on a goal earlier. Now he makes up for it. That pass gets away, though. Maryland's going to take it on that turnover. Self-inflicted for Syracuse. So it's going to be, looks like Makar standing there with Koras. Makar's going to pass it long for Dolan. Again, you just cannot give Syracuse multiple opportunities like that in a row, Ben. They feed off that momentum. They've cut this lead in half. So it's in the stick of Kyle Long as he waits for the offensive guys to come in. Owen Murphy had 4 goals against Richmond to start the season. Nothing against Loyola, but he's back on track today. Murphy a pass. This is Kelly, a goal. You cannot leave DK wide open. He's going to make you pay. It's 8-5.
DK, I like that nickname for Daniel Kelly right there. Kind of a DK Metcalf aspect, receiving this pass right here right away, quickly getting rid of it into that lower corner. That's a phenomenal pass to the inside, and Kelly does a nice job just finishing low. You got to finish low when you're in front. It's very hard for the goalie when you're standing up high here in this position, getting ready for an outside shot, for it to come down low right in front of your face.
Kelly last time out against Loyola, he had 4 goals, and that kept a streak alive for Maryland. Now 59 straight games with a player with a hat trick. Here's Kelly. Thought about just going for it there. This is Geppert. It's a pole goal for Maryland, 9-5. His 2nd of the year.
The Maryland bench reaction will tell you all you need to know about how excited they get when a pole goes. I mean, Geppert's the guy who started this Maryland season with their first goal, and right here notching one at the end of this first half. This is a really important goal. You go back up by 4. You were in this position just moments ago before Syracuse started to break that run. Now Maryland getting hot of their own. They're getting everyone involved. Geppert with the strike.
No, Geppert is not a stranger to scoring, Ben. He had 5 goals last year. You could see why. He can let it fly. That's his 2nd of the year.
That's exactly why he's the LSM. You're the long stick midfielder. You got to be able to get the ball across, and you got to be an offensive threat as the LSM.
They leave him open. He makes him pay as Weirman wins another faceoff in the stick of Trader. And if Maryland could find another goal here, that would be massive heading into the locker room. This is Maltz. A whistle goes. Looks like Maryland's going to call a timeout. And I think that's smart, Ben, with 20 seconds left to go in this 2nd quarter. You really want to make sure you've got the right play drawn up, because this could be a massive goal.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about this first half as a whole while we have some time, Tyler. 32 shots for Maryland compared to just 11 for Syracuse, but kind of says a lot about how efficient Syracuse has been on the offensive side, but it's been a nightmare just getting it over there. Maryland has had shot after shot after shot coming in this first half, and for it just to be 9-5 right now, if you get a stop here in these final 21 seconds, you'd have to be in a good feeling if you're Syracuse, not because of the way you played, but because of the result so far. This game could be so much worse right now for the Orange, but they've hung around. Mark has kept him in there, and they've done a good job. They've really done their best in trying to contain this Maryland offense, and Maryland hasn't quite had the better of them so far in breaking away.
9-5 lead for Maryland. You touched on the fact that Syracuse has had to be really efficient with their shots. That's true. I mean, they know they're not going to get that many opportunities to get their offense the ball. This Maryland offense, they like to hold the ball. You're not going to beat Weirman in many face-offs today. Syracuse knows their opportunities are limited. So far, they've done a pretty good job of taking them, but you got to think if they want to come back, they're going to need more in the 2nd half.
Well, we've seen it already in this game. They're a team that can easily go on a run. They had that 3-0 run, then they respond with 2 of their own after the Maryland 3-0 run, countering that. They can go on a run. Any team in lacrosse really can go on a run at any moment, but with a team of likes of Syracuse, with the offensive talent that they possess, they're easily a team that can make a 5-6 goal run, and they could put Maryland into a world of hurt if they really get hot.
For Syracuse, 8 of their 11 shots today have been on goal. 3 have been denied by Teddy Dolan, who stepped up in Logan McNaney's absence today. But the other 5, they found the back of the net.
I think Dolan, he's done really well in this first half for coming in here. You know, being behind McNaney, obviously McNaney's such a good leader, such a good guy to be behind and learn from. So, you know, that has to be working in Dolan's favor, but it's really hard to have everything, all the pressure coming onto your shoulders in your first game here coming in. It's the third game of the season, so to lose your goalie this point of the season, this is actually a little bit better for Maryland, if you will, because now Dolan can have some time to kind of set up the way he wants the defense to play. McNaney has the defense getting the shots against him that he wants. Dolan will have to do the same thing.
But again, Dolan with so much experience at Binghamton. Maryland's got 10 seconds to work with. Can they find something here? No, they can. An interception. Syracuse is going to take it the other way. Could they find something before the quarter is over? Here's a shot from distance, just high. Would have counted. That was Max Rhoa. And we are going to head to halftime. Maryland up 9-5.
We'll see how Syracuse responds in half number 2 here on Big Ten Plus.
It's so much to look out for here at SECU Stadium. You're watching Maryland and Syracuse here on Big Ten Plus. Weirman has won 11 out of 16 faceoffs so far as we get back to the action here in the second half. Maryland's 4-goal lead that ties their largest of the game, and you got to think this first goal is going to go a long way to tell us how this half is going to go, Ben. This is Ajax Zapatello. Maryland's going to have to get this across. They do with 1 second to spare, but that's going right into the stick of Finn Thompson. And now Syracuse is going to get their first chance here in this second half. So the Orange down by 4, but they've been very efficient on their shots today as Leo comes through. He's going to try one, and it goes! Got it high just under the bar, and Michael Leo gets us started 9-6.
Tyler, you just mentioned how important that first goal of this half is going to be, and Michael Leo starting with a bang for the Syracuse team. Another look at it right here, coming down. That Rhoa has the separation, and this is a really great shot. Top cheddar in that right corner. Owen unable to get to it, and now Syracuse with a little bit of momentum coming out the break now.
Momentum so important in the sport of lacrosse. And again, Teddy Dolan coming in and starting this game for Maryland in relief of the injured Logan McNaney. His chemistry with the defense will pick up. That's Trader who tried one from distance, didn't go. Again, the chemistry with the defense, that's something that is going to happen over the course of the year. But for right now, it seems like Syracuse is really getting some good looks to put it past Dolan.
That chemistry aspect, it goes around, everything goes for the entire team chemistry building over the entire, I mean, lacrosse is such a team-oriented sport that it really takes time to gel as a team, whether it be on the defensive side, the offensive side, face-off guys, goalie. It's going to take time, and especially Maryland with the new goalie today. That makes it a lot more difficult for the defense to adjust and get acclimated to having the new keeper.
So Maryland has a 3-goal advantage here with 13:51 to go in this third quarter. As we get back underway. Kyle Long with it in his stick. And that one's poked out. Kicked away, that's Kirst, who got through and makes a big-time play. And it's going to be taken across there by Kakemo on the far side of the field. So can Syracuse find a way to get back in this game? They're down by 3. As Michael Leo is going to come in from the bench. He's already got a goal in this second half. He's going to give it off to Hiltz. Hiltz getting around. His pass comes to Spallina, denied by Dolan. But did that go in? They're going to say no. It's going to be Maryland ball still, but found the back of the net. Syracuse was cheering for a second. Let's take another look.
And it looks like, oh yeah, just coming in the crease right there. That's a violation. That's why that goal got waved off. But a little bit of a scary moment there for Maryland.
Fourth save of the day for Dolan. 2 straight goals to start out the half would be fantastic for Syracuse as Koras tries to get through. We'll give that off to Maltz. Maltz, a bouncer to Murphy, who lost it. Coming through to try to pick this up is Alexo. I think that's going to be a whistle on Murphy. It's going to stay with the Orange.
And Murphy kind of just wrapped his stick around his entire body right there, not letting, I think he was a little bit frustrated in the way that he was unable to find that bouncer by his feet. And that's one of the things Maryland has been a little bit uncharacteristic today. A lot of drop passes, a lot of throws that have gone not the way they wanted it to go. And those little mistakes hurt. We've seen Syracuse take advantage of it multiple times. We'll see what they can do here.
This is Kirst coming through. His shot finds the net. And Cole Kirst makes it 9-7.
Right on cue. Just talking about that mistake on the other end, Owen Murphy, how Syracuse would respond and use that to their advantage. And right here, Kirst doing it. Really nice lefty shot coming down that left alley. And Dolan, he's having a little bit of a hard time seeing some of these shots right here. Given this is a very tough shot, but another look at right here, kind of just whizzes by him. He might be feeling the nerves a little bit here in his first game in the stadium, and a tall task against this good Syracuse team. They've been so efficient on offense, and that just continued.
Kirst played 4 years for the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. His 4th goal of the year. This is Maltz. Thought about it from distance, passes it off. This is Lacey. Lacey's going to pass that off. Here comes the offensive reinforcements for Maryland. And the stick of Braden Urksa. Urksa trying to get a pick there from Weirman, who's still up there with the offense. See if they can get him back. Get Spanos to come up. That's what they will do. This is Maltz. Maltz a pass across. This is Kelly right at the goal, and he will get that hat trick. 60 games in a row for a Terrapin to find the net 3 times.
Daniel Kelly with some incredible footwork right there in the crease. You saw when he made that catch, there was a lot of pressure on him right here. Really nice pass. Now you see him right on the crease. Doesn't step in it, just waits, gets the goalie, gets marked to kind of nudge out a little bit, put the stick up high, and then that becomes a really easy finish for Kelly right here. What a day he's having.
And that's just calmness right there in front of the goal. It's a one-on-one situation. Got to make the goalie miss. That's what Kelly has done.
Yep, those situations have so much pressure because you feel like you have to score right there. Everyone's going to go crazy if you don't. But you got to stay poised. You got to make the goalie get up in the air and miss. And Kelly did just that. And he's been really good for this Maryland team so far this year. He's kind of stepped up exactly where they've needed him to.
As Weirman wins another faceoff, well, there's not really a clear #1 offensive option for Maryland. Schrader coming through. He's going to shoot and score. Dante Schrader.
Has a lot of experience making plays on this field, and now he's done it in a new sport as well.
Battle here for the ball. Face-off X. It's still loose. Knocked away. That's Lacey who comes through. Zapatello picks up the ground ball, but he's lost it. Spallina got through. He gets taken out. And finally, Maryland's going to come out with it. That's Lacey. Another great short stick deep midi. Lacey's going to take that. Give it off to Urksa. And again, Maryland has a great history at that position. You've got 2 really good ones there, Lacey and Schrader. And into the game comes Koras. Koras to the middle. He's going to pass that off Spanos. Spanos to spin. Another. That shot denied. Picked up by Kelly, who could not find the goal. Just gritty defense here. Will Mark caught outside of the goal, a fight for this ground ball as Urksa comes through and gets it. Comes back to Long. Long, a great pass across. That's Kelly again, his fourth of the day.
Kelly just missing on the doorstep moments ago. What does he do? He stays patient, he stays within the play. He was part of that huge scrum to get that ground ball. And a lot of credit here to Urksa. How did he come up with that ground ball? I'll never know. But then Kelly coming up on the doorstep, this time finishing in front. The most important thing you can do right there in lacrosse is to finish in those situations. Maryland winning those ground balls. That's exactly what Coach John Tillman wants them to do. They did it right there, and it pays dividends, getting the goal in a 5-goal lead.
Well, I was in the middle of making the point when Trader took it and scored that Maryland doesn't really have that clear number one option on their offense this year, but Kelly has kind of separated himself from the pack in terms of scoring. That's his 9th goal of the year, which leads the team. 4 goals against Loyola last time out. He's got 4 more today.
Safe to say, Tyler, the kid from Calvert Hall can play.
That's another flag down. Here comes Trader again. This time he's going to pass it, but it gets away from Urksa. So it's going to be another man-up opportunity here for Maryland. Their 5-goal advantage right now, the largest of the game. And they're going to have a great opportunity here, Ben, with an extra attacking player to increase it.
This is where you're Maryland. You got to keep your foot on the gas right here. We saw them get the 4-goal lead multiple times in this game. And let Syracuse creep back in. You're at this point in the game. You got to put them on it right here.
Let's see it. That's Weirman who took a big shot from SECU.
Yep, the cross check right there. SECU getting a little bit too aggressive right there, trying to take it away from the face-off guy.
So now SECU is going to spend some time in the sin bin. He's going to think about what he has done as he watches Maryland man up with a great opportunity here to take a 6-goal advantage. This Syracuse offense, we've been saying it all day. They've been proving it. They are very, very dangerous. You need as much as you could possibly get. And they've got a whole minute this time. It's Murphy giving it off to Maltz on the near side. Kelly to Spanos. You're Maryland, you got to wait for a good look here. Could they get it here? Kelly rips one, it goes over. He's looking for his 5th goal of this game.
Feed the hot hand.
It's in the stick of Koras. Koras coming through, finds Spanos, makes a move, cuts through. Somehow it did not go. I think it took a deflection out. It's going to stay with Maryland.
He held on to it a little bit too long. He had that opportunity for the catch shoot. He decided to make that quick face dodge towards the goal. Unnecessary. Could have just gone for the shot.
This is Long coming around, giving it off to Murphy. In the stick of Spanos again to Kelly. Murphy near side, a pass to Long. Long's going to skip it up, Kelly. Spanos, no look pass. Maltz tried one, it's denied by Mark, and a ground ball is loose and picked up by the Syracuse goalie. And he's going to try a long pass. Back to even strength are the Orange.
Huge, huge penalty kill.
That was a big opportunity for Maryland to really break it open. But a 5-goal advantage in lacrosse, Ben, you could certainly come back from that. But for that to happen, Syracuse, they're going to have to start getting to work here, Ben. That clock is just going to keep ticking down as Spallina comes from behind. He's been held to just 1 goal today. Excuse me, 1 assist. Has not found the net. But there's a shot, tough angle it goes. I'm not quite sure how he got that off, but that's Jackson Birtwistle who cuts this lead down to 4.
And isn't it incredible, Tyler, how every time Maryland on the other end has a couple golden opportunities to make something happen on the offensive side, it's Syracuse that comes through the other way. And like you said, I don't understand how this shot is even humanly possible. An inhuman shot coming the other way from Syracuse. That's incredible, and that's big to keep them back in this game.
Yeah, that's tough defense there by Dante Trader. I don't know what more he could do. I mean, he got him around. And if you're Syracuse, you're starting to get into that territory where you just need to start firing things off. As Birtwistle is going to pick up goal number 7 on the year. His first of the day. And that's a big goal. As momentum is swung back into Syracuse's favor, but Maryland cuts back into that with another face-off win. This is Murphy. Got a lot of speed. He's got some space, passing it off to Kelly. Kelly to Signorella. This is Murphy. Shot clock at 40. Urksa gets back over to his fellow freshman, Signorella. Maryland's got to go now. 25 seconds on the shot clock. This is Kelly. Tough angle. He took it, and it goes wide, but Urksa does a good job there to keep the possession for Maryland. Urksa takes the big hit, and that's going to go out of bounds. Syracuse ball. How about that play by Jake Murphy?
I'll tell you what, he's having a heck of a game, and see him doing it on the defensive side. Usually as a shorty, you're told not to throw checks, but he saw his opportunity right there, and he took it. That's a big punishing hit, and he got that ball free.
After being beat early on for a goal, he's now scored and then forced a turnover, and boy, would it go a long way if Syracuse can hit the back of the net here. In the stick of Rhoa. Rhoa's going to cut through. Didn't find an angle. This is Spallina. Still looking for his first goal of the day. That's Dolan, who got pulled out of the goal. Play some defense on the freshman phenom. Here's another tough angle that time by Birtwistle. Could not find that circus goal this time. It's going to stay with the Orange, though. 30 on the shot clock for the visitors. They trail by 4. This is Cook coming around. He's going to try one. Nice save by Dolan. And it goes into the stick of Colin Burlace. Up to Makar. Here comes Maryland. Jack McDonald taking it into the offensive zone. He had a goal against Richmond. Now Maryland can set things back up. This is Long. Into the game is Spanos. He's got the ball. Spanos is going to pass that behind X for Maltz. Maltz is going to give that off. This is Koras over to Urksa. Maltz with it at that Big Ten logo on the far side of the field. A pass across. Urksa, good look. Could not keep it down. And that's going to go Syracuse's way. That's a great job by Rosa to be there to take possession. And it's Rosa who takes it across midfield. And again, if you're Syracuse, you really need to find a way, Ben. Try to get back in it with a goal here.
It's really big offensive possession right here. I mean, you've been efficient all game long. Got 18 shots on the day, 8 of them you've scored. We'll see how they can respond with that. Keep themselves in this game. You got to be in a good position heading towards the 4th.
This is Michael Leo. Defense on him by Dante Trader Jr. Coming through is Birtwistle, another goal for him to make it 12-9. And number 9 finds another tough angle and just gets it into the back of the net.
Like you said, tough defense coming from Maryland, and Syracuse has done that a couple of times in this game. They've had the defense draped all over them like a blanket, and yet these Syracuse midfielders, attackmen, just finding somehow, some way Low-to-low shot right there. That's kind of tough to save when you're really far away. Dolan, once again, just kind of a little bit late reacting to it. And now Syracuse in a very, very good position. Should they get one more, maybe even two more with 3:39 left in this quarter, they could be sitting really pretty heading into the final frame.
Birtwistle's got his 7th goal of the year as Maltz picks that up. This is McDonald.
The assisted goal scored by number 9, Birtwistle.
Back to the stick of McDonald. He's going to give it over to Long. Correction on that Birtwistle goal, that's his 8th goal on the year. And he has looked really good today. Signorello coming through. Gonna give that off to Ursa. This is Murphy. Maryland's got 40 on the shot clock. Signorello with it on the near side. Trying to get past his defender, but Murphy does a great job on him. 20 seconds long, coming through and scoring. Or is it going to be waved off? I think it is. No goal. They're going to take it off the board for Kyle Long. It's going to stay 12-9. The music started playing, but Syracuse was the one celebrating. And boy, would it be a big swing the other way before we take a look at a replay if Syracuse could find a way to put this in.
Thinking it was an illegal screen that came down right there as Long came in.
Here's Rhoa coming through. Gonna pass that off to Cook. Cook's gonna get it back to Simmons. Trader on him, tough defense. Simmons, long pass, gets over the head of Cook, and that's gonna go out of bounds. So Maryland's gonna take it, that's Geppert who's there.
Trader did his job right there. Kept Cook from going to the top side against him, pushing him out and forcing him into kind of that overhead jump pass.
Nice awareness there by Trader to pick up that ground ball. Great game so far for Dante Trader. He's got a goal and he's played some tough defense. As Spanos comes in. 45 on the shot clock for Maryland. Murphy cutting to the middle, passing that off to Kelly. Kelly forced behind the goal. That's good defense. Here is Spanos flipping it off to Koras. Koras just trying to get around Alexo. And TerpsMLax has been great so far on defense. This is Murphy turning, falling, loose ball picked up by the Orange. That's Caden Cole who's going to take that across midfield. Tough defense by Burlace here. And he's going to force a loose ball. Spanos coming in to try to help him, but the Orange are going to get it back. That pass almost intercepted. And that's Leo there. He had a chance to pick that up. He could not. That goes out of bounds. That's a big play because that gives Maryland back the ball with 15 seconds to go here in the quarter. That pass too high for McDonald. Maryland's got 8 seconds now. Gonna have to try to throw something on net. Spanos to Maltz. Trying to let one rip. It's deflected. That's how the quarter's gonna come to an end, but it's still a 3-goal game, Ben.
4 goals, 2 assists on the day. And you see that 12 shots. I mean, all the shots that Maryland's had today, he's been the guy with the most.
So Weirman's going to win another face-off here for Maryland. Outshooting the Orange 43-19 as we head to the final 15 minutes. And again, that first goal of the quarter, it's always important. Maryland would sure love it to be them. As Kyle Long is going to come on. And so will Koras to join him. 50 on the shot clock for Maryland. They got time. This is Murphy. He's going to try one from way out, denied by Mark. Good job by Murphy to follow it up, but it gets back into the stick of Will Mark. And Syracuse is going to get it the other way. Nice job on the ride here by Kelly, not making it easy for Carter Rice to get it across, but Rice has had a really good day of just clearing the ball back. Now in the stick of Birtwistle, the Orange's top returning scorer. As Michael Leo, the freshman, is going to try to direct traffic here. And that ball's loose. Kohler's going to flip that back, and it goes into the stick of Brett Makar. He's going to get it up to Zappatello. A dangerous defensive combo. Zappatello takes it. His shot goes high. It looked like they got a piece of his stick, SECU, with a nice play defensively. A good crowd on hand here. A lot of them seated on the camera side of the field. It's kind of filled out on the other side as well as along. It's going to take that to the far side of the field. This is Maltz giving it to the near side for Murphy. This is Long coming to the front. Great find, Murphy, somehow kept out by Mark. And Mark is going to run behind the goal, loose in front. Koras is going to pick this up, but a whistle and a foul. Crowd disagrees, but that ball was loose. Mark was out of the goal. That would have been a big opportunity for Koras, who already has scored in the open net today.
Yeah, getting the penalty up by 3, that one hurts, but if you're John Tillman, I think he can live with that one. Koras, the midfielder, just making a bit of an aggressive play right there. He saw his opportunity with the net open. He also saw just the opportunity to get the ball back as a whole. It was nearly a clean hit. He just caught the back of the defender right there. So that's why the penalty was called. If he was there about a half second earlier, probably would have been a clean hit.
A tough moment there for the former Loyola Don, Jack Koras, who is going to take a seat in the sin bin. Now the Syracuse Orange going to have a chance here, man down. They've got a whole minute to work with here, Ben. A very costly penalty.
This is huge. This is huge if you're Syracuse right now. You've got to find a way to get one in past Owen.
Spallina has it in his stick. He still hasn't scored today. Could that change here on this man-up opportunity? Penalty on Koras for unnecessary roughness. That pass, they looked for Spallina, could not get through. Now Makar's going to take it the other way, and that's huge for this penalty kill.
Got to ice it now. You got to ice the ball.
It's into the stick of Lacey. Trader's up there with him. All right, Ben, just hang on to it here. No need to rush. Get that penalty down. Bring on your guy. Then look to attack. They got 10 minutes left on this penalty. 10 seconds.
Every offensive possession matters so much for both these teams going towards the conclusion of this game. Maryland trying to put this one away. Syracuse trying to crawl back in. Maryland has to be smart with the ball.
So now Spanos will come back in. It's Signorella with it. Guy who's kind of shown up big on the second line of the midfield today for Maryland. This is Maltz. Maltz coming through. Could not find anybody open. He'll give it back off to Signorella. Signorello just gonna throw that away. Nothing was open. No need to try to force it. You can get a chance to sub your guys off.
Yeah, smart play by Signorello. He knew exactly the situation they've been. That's something that they work on in practice for sure for moments like that.
Good awareness there by the freshman. This is Murphy taking it forward for the Orange. And into the stick of Hiltz. Maryland with 46 shots. Syracuse still looking for number 20, and they'd love for that to be a goal. 17 saves for Will Mark for the Orange. Rhoa back to Hiltz. This is Spallina. Behind the back, it's in. What a goal from the freshman to make it 12-10.
Quiet all game long. And what does he do here in the fourth quarter? One of the biggest moments of the game. Team behind by 3, need a goal bad. He pulls that out of his sleeve. That is just an incredible shot at incredible timing. The freshman making highlight reel level plays here. This one is going to be...
He wasn't even looking bad.
This one is going to make some Instagram and Twitter pages, that's for sure.
What a ridiculous goal from Joey Spallina. We talked about how he has not scored today. That one's going to be one that a lot of people are going to remember. Goal number 12 on the year in the career of Joey Spallina, the 3-time All-American in high school, the National Player of the Year, as a flag is thrown here immediately.
Syracuse scores at the 10:23 mark of the fourth quarter. The goal was scored by number 22, Joey Spallina.
Again, Joey Spallina. We talked about how they want that 20th shot of the game to be a goal. That's the best shot of the game for the Orange.
It's incredible to think about the way this game's gone, how many more shots Maryland has. But Syracuse, they've scored on 50% of the shots they've taken. And we've talked so much about offensive efficiency in this game, some of the young guys for the Syracuse team. They've held their own today, and no matter what happens in the final 10 minutes and 20 seconds of this game, Syracuse has a lot to look up to in the way this young core has played on offense.
That's a man-up opportunity and a goal. That's Kyle Long. The penalty was on Rhoa. Maryland did not waste much time there, did they, Ben? 9 seconds into the man-up, they find the net.
And that's kind of like a dagger into the heart if you're Syracuse right here. You have your star freshman with a highlight reel level goal just to be followed up by a penalty, and then a goal from Maryland coming the other way just a moment later. Really nice job, Koras, finding Kyle Long. That's just pretty right there. Pretty lacrosse. Stuff that Maryland has done well for so many years now, and they're doing it right here, and they're back up by 3.
Kyle Long with a big goal. That's his 4th goal of the year. He's got 2 today. He came in with 2. Really good performance by him. And this Maryland midfield as a whole has looked fantastic. But here comes Syracuse again with Leo. Leo going to look across. That's Hiltz. And denied by Dolan. Point blank shot, but he could not beat the Maryland goalie as Geppert's going to take it the other way. Geppert takes a massive shot there. That's going to be a foul there on the Orange. Man up opportunity imminent. And now that Maryland's got that 3-goal lead here, Ben, no need to rush. Got the time, and then you're going to have that penalty to work with as Murphy makes a move there. Pass back to Kyle Long. And Long's just going to hold it in his stick. Murphy on him. Into the stick of Koras. They got 20 seconds to work with here. Koras coming around. He's going to find Long. This is Maltz over to Kelly. 10 on the shot clock for Maryland. Kelly, that pass knocked away, and now Maryland's going to get that man-up opportunity. Just under 8.5 to go. And Ben, this is a massive penalty kill opportunity here for Syracuse. And if Maryland can find a 4th goal, they're going to be in a really good spot.
They're going to need to be better on that 5-man rotation next time around. We saw last time how Kyle Long beat that rotation, just cutting through the middle towards that front pipe. In Syracuse, you can't let that happen. That's one of the biggest things when you're on man-down defense, is you cannot give up a goal to a free-flowing cutter. That's the worst possible thing that can happen, and right now would be a pretty bad time to give up another goal especially, but you don't want to give them one easy.
So can Maryland make the Orange pay? It's SECU who takes the seat. Spanos over to Kelly. That's a no-look pass. Koras was not expecting it. It's going to go out of play. So now Syracuse is going to have to get this clear. They got 10 seconds to do it. A very long pass. That's Dolan who comes out to make a play defensively and get Maryland back the ball. That's an incredible play by the goalie, Dolan. Ran over to the sideline, made a big play, and now Maryland's going to get it back on offense.
Dolan showing some confidence out there. Coming out there and making a play on defense, leaving the cage open.
That's Koras a rip at a goal. A 4-point lead for Maryland, and he's got a hat trick.
Right there, you can see how quickly this game moves right there and how quickly the tides can turn against Syracuse right there. Dolan making the play on the other side, and then literally 6 seconds later, it's Maryland scoring. See a nice feed inside. Koras doing the rest. It was the combination of Koras who went to Kyle Long on the last goal. This time, it's Long to Koras, a dynamic duo forming here in the fourth quarter.
So Maryland's lead is now 4. As Jack Koras has his third goal of the day, third goal of the year on Maryland's 48th shot. Will Mark, who's got 17 saves, could not find enough there to keep that one out. Came into this game with a 71% on the saves. Now we've got 7.5 to go. Syracuse is going to need to start finding the net soon. And now it's into the stick of Geppert. He's going to get it back to Dolan.
7:31 mark in the fourth quarter. The goal was scored by number 22, Jack Koras. With the assist to number 23, Kyle Long.
Now Dante Trader, he falls down right there at the 50. Gets back up and somehow gets through it. Here comes Trader. Already got a goal today, looking for 2, he's got it! Dante Trader with the second goal to make it 15-10.
SECU Stadium is roaring for Dante Trader. Something that they hadn't seen from him since back in November when Maryland football had their last game in here in a 37-0 blowout victory over Rutgers. Now here we are in the depths of February, late winter here in Maryland. Dante Trader's back on the field, making highlight reel plays, somehow staying with it, somehow, some way, shaking off one man, stepping up, perfect bounce shot into that top left corner. Talk about an athlete right there.
I mean, that's a dream play there for a short stick team, Eddie, isn't it? But getting the ball cleared, getting through about 8 guys before taking it and scoring.
Gotta wonder how the emotions are of Dante Trader, the sport that he came in recruited to play. This year, he is finally getting his chance to play lacrosse like he had always wanted to. Before playing football, things were going better on the football route for him, so he stuck with it. He comes in here, he's got 2 goals today and an incredible showing here at home.
As Maryland wins another faceoff, it seems like the big names coming into this game have performed as advertised, with Spallina with one of the craziest goals I've ever seen. And then on the other end, Trader finding his first 2 collegiate goals.
Trader, Jr. And a Syracuse penalty on number 77, Owen Hiltz. 1 minute for slashing.
And now Maryland's going to be man up as Owen Hiltz is going to take a seat in the sin bin. Just an opportunity here for Maryland to really break it open. This is Murphy. Pass gets across. This is Maltz setting it up for Spanos. Great save by Mark. But it's going to stay with the Terrapins. This is Kelly on the near side. Spanos over to Murphy. Syracuse has that man back. But Maryland still has the ball. This is Maltz from way out, passing it instead of shooting it. Trying to get it to Long. Long coming around the back. Could not find a shot. He's going to have to pass that off to Maltz. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Maryland. And that pass is going to get all the way through. Syracuse is going to take it on the turnover. And the Orange, they've got about 5 minutes to score 5 goals.
Got to go quickly. And then you got to win some face-offs as well. Things not looking bright, especially with Weirman on the Maryland side manning the face-off, but you never really know. Anything can happen. Syracuse has got to get one in the next 30 seconds, though.
Maryland has won 22 out of 29 face-offs here today. And once you get into a position in which you are leading, Ben, that really starts to matter.
Definitely the defense wears down a little bit as a result.
First, Syracuse is going to have to score some goals before they worry about face-offs. It's in the stick of Leo. Leo's going to give that off. That one from outside, saved by Dolan. Dolan's just going to play it safe, give it off to Makar. Seventh save of the day for Dolan as Makar gets that one across. He's going to pass that over to Gibbons. Now if you're Maryland, Ben, you got this 5-goal advantage. 4 minutes to go. You've got 50 seconds on the shot clock. It's a great opportunity to try to kill some clock. Seems to be what Syracuse is going to do. Jake Murphy on him. Murphy's been really good today. Gets back to Spanos. Spanos over to Urksa. Spanos trying to come from behind. Did not have an angle to take a shot. Maryland's got 10 on the shot clock here. This is Maltz. Taking it behind X. Maltz going to give it off. Urksa, shot way up in the air. Another save by Mark and goal. Urksa dove for it. Did not get there first. Kakemo with a really important play to give Syracuse the ball.
Kakema using that long stick to his advantage right there, given everything he had. Urksa on the other side doing as well. That's just a hustle play that you like to see on both sides all around. Syracuse, big to get back possession though.
So with 3:16 to go, Maryland with a 5-goal lead. Stay with us here on Big Ten Plus. The Terps up 15-10. Let's take a look at Syracuse. Last few years, it's been tough. 4-10 last year. They've already picked up 3 wins, though, here in 2023.
This year, a much different look. They have that really good freshman recruiting class that we talked about, and things are just going to continuously get better and better here up north.
Head coach Gary Gate trying to get this team back to the Final Four for the first time since 2013. And now the Orange have the ball. They're down by 5. They need something quick. And that pass looks like it's going to get away. It's going to stay with Syracuse, though. It's in the stick of Spallina. As looks like a timeout's going to be called. 2:45 to go, and Maryland up by 5. Joey Spallina had just 1 goal in his debut, but today, 1 goal. It was one of the better ones I've ever seen. Also had an assist to add to it. He's got 12 goals on the year. This is just his 4th game at college lacrosse. What have you liked from him?
I kind of like the way he's hung around the cage, the way he moves without the ball to get himself into position. That's exactly what we saw on his lone goal today. I think Maryland had a bit of a point of emphasis to kind of shut him down today. A little bit of face guarding, a couple double teams coming his way as well. And he's not a selfish player. He's made plays for his teammates around him, swinging the ball around. Lacrosse, very, very much a team game, so one guy down, the next man has to come up for Syracuse, and Maryland has made sure that Spallina wasn't the guy to get them beat today.
Well, Joey Spallina, just a freshman, he already has a target on his back with that number 22. So you look at some of the guys who have worn it. Mike Powell, phenomenal. Gary Gate, simply one of the best to ever do it. All of these players, they've won NCAA championships for the Qs, and it's been a long time, Ben, since they've sat on top of the college lacrosse mountain. And a lot of the Syracuse alum think that Joey Spallina can be the one to get them back.
So good things all around from both the lacrosse programs up north in Syracuse.
And another flag flies. This one's going to be against Maryland. It's a great job getting through by Kirst, who takes a shot. That's another flag that will fly. Refs are going to talk about this. Both of those fouls would be against Maryland. So with 2:37 to go here, time is running out for the Orange, but they're going to have a man-up opportunity. Take a look here as Simmons, trying to get through, took a big shot. And this Maryland man-down defense is going to have to hunker down. So Dolan in net. Just 4 defenders on the field here, Ben.
This is a tough position right here. He's a guy who's seen so many shots in his career. He's definitely going to see some right here on this possession. Syracuse, you'd have to imagine they're going to attack early because they're going to want to score as fast as possible, so they're not going to waste very much time before the shot comes. He's got to be ready.
Syracuse is 2 men up right now, and this is do or die time for the Orange. So Hiltz coming around. Got to get a shot here quickly. This is Spallina who tries one. That one may have hit the post. Coming around to the front, that would put in. It's Jackson Birtwistle with the goal. It's 15-11 now.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Just 12 seconds coming off the clock right there. That was exactly what you needed if you're Syracuse. Now, those guys do come out of the box. Those were releasable penalties, but still, you give yourself a chance. You got to get this face-off win against Weirman. Very, very tough task, but as we know, anything can happen. Syracuse can go on the run now. Maryland with an important face-off right here. Luke Weirman, the guy, so good. The specialist of the year last year. One of the biggest face-offs of the early season for him right now.
So Birtwistle will pick up the goal there. We head to the face-off circle. Weirman is going to win that face-off. That's massive for Maryland.
Syracuse scores at the 2:25 mark of the fourth quarter. The goal scored by number 9, Jackson Birtwistle.
That's Dolan there. The ride from Hiltz. He's just going to have to fling it. It's going to go wide of the goal and into the stick of Kelly. This is Kyle Long. Over to the far side, that's Koras. And again, if you're Maryland up by 4, no need to rush anything here. As that clock just keeps on going down. Koras is in no rush, and Rice is going to have to start to force him to do something here, Ben. Syracuse is going to bring up help as ball gets over to Murphy. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Maryland. I think they're a lot more worried about just killing as much time as possible. Maltz lost it, and that's going to be picked up by the Orange. Number 30, Landon Clary. Clary's going to give that up. This is Spallina. Held to just 1 goal and an assist here today. That's Cook. He's going to try to take it all the way around. Griffin Cook behind the back. That one doesn't go. But back into the stick of Spallina. A lot of flair on this Syracuse offense. That ground ball's loose as that flag flies. See what the refs are going to talk about here. I think this is going to be against Maryland.
I think so. I think it's going to be another one of those unnecessary roughness calls that we saw.
I think you're right. I think they're going to get lacy here. So man up opportunity with 30 seconds to go for Syracuse. Game all but decided at this point, but let's see if the Orange can get another goal on the board.
$50 shots for Maryland today. Under 30 so far for Syracuse. We'll see if they get it up to 30 here on this man-up attempt, but they've held their own for how lopsided it's been.
Yeah, down by just 4 when you're being outshot by over 20. Pretty impressive. And that's a shot and a goal there from Simmons to make it 15-12. Shot it low there. Dolan has had trouble with that all day. Very subdued celebration from the Orange, as that's not really going to affect the outcome. Nonetheless, that's a nice shot there. Kept it low. Got it past Zapatello, one of the top defenders in the nation, as Simmons is going to collect a hat trick.
Everything about confidence right now, even right here, the face-off guy. Maybe you get this face-off win right here. That could just be a little bit of something moving forward. Syracuse can't really hang their heads about today given how poorly things went, especially in that first quarter, how much of a nightmare it was on the defensive side. They held their own today, a very respectable result. Totally lose to a very good Maryland team by 3. This is a very good Syracuse team, and they have a lot to be proud of, especially with the young recruiting class that they have moving forward.
Final seconds are going to tick away, and the Maryland Terrapins are going to bounce back from that tough loss at Loyola with a 3-goal win against Syracuse.
That's exactly what you needed right here. You got a new goalkeeper in the cage. Dolan with a nice job right here. A 20-game home winning streak now for this Maryland. 17 straight non-conference victories at home. An important win for Maryland here today without their star keeper. Not going to have him for a while most likely, so really good to see that you get a win with your new keeper today.
So Maryland is going to take it. Started off strong, but Syracuse kind of stuck around the entire game until Maryland ran it out at the end. 2 goals from Dante Trader and a fantastic goal from Spallina on the other side. Will Mark finishes with 18 saves for the Orange, who just did not have enough. We thank you so much for tuning in today. For our producers, Jackie O'Mara and Thomas Mason, our director, Matt Weinsheimer. For Ben Strober, I'm Tyler Lochte. We hope you tune in next time. You have a great day.